The 2023 NFL season is over. Okay, cool. Which means it's time for the 2023 offseason. In the offseason stream, which will be streamed today on twitch.tv/Bengal. The link, as always, is in the description, along with my second and third channel. I've uploaded to both pretty recently. Both have some interesting things on them. Although, fun fact, maybe for some of you, on my third channel, I'm going to be posting some Call of Duty pretty soon with the new one coming out. And I do also want to go through and play all of the old Zombies maps in order. I think that could be a lot of fun. So those might be separate videos as well on my third channel, G and Dangus. So check that out if you have any interest at all. But for those of you curious about the offseason stream today on twitch.tv/Bengal, 5:30 Central Time, 6:30 Eastern, and 3:30 Pacific Time. That's when it's going to happen, 5:30 Central. And it will be uploaded the next day, probably onto YouTube. So don't worry about it. I get so many comments, leave the VOD public. No, you can't make me. Because then you wouldn't watch the video, and I got to have you watch the video. So that's what's going to happen, off-season stream. And what is this episode? Well, we're not going over the season stats. I'll do that in the off-season stream. And I did that some at the end of the actual season in Giants Franchise. I want to go over some of these prospects because we have a couple of really interesting decisions. If we go to Mock Draft 3 was the final one. That one hasn't come out yet. Okay, well, I'll say we have the 28th pick and we have the 30th pick. Now, in order to get some of the players that we want, we're going to have to navigate the board a little bit more than I did last year. Last year was a lot of trading down. This year could be a decent bit of trading up. And I think what it really boils down to is what you probably saw in the thumbnail. It's Bryson Hendricks or Glenn Gore, or do we somehow get both? But it's probably going to be one or the other. The case for Bryson Hendricks up first. He is 6'2", 207 pounds, 23-year-old safety out of Florida State. He's got B hit power, B man coverage, B tackle, B zone coverage. His player notes: physical player who delivers bone-crushing hits. That is the big hitter trait. Aggressive ball hawk, for better or worse. Well, we like a ball hawk in the secondary. Has a motor that runs through the whistle. That's high motor trait. Often looks to rip the ball from runners. It's strip ball trait. And then shows good discipline, won't get flagged much. I don't really ever find that to be all that useful. Maybe it changes the rate of like face mask or something like that, but athletically, he's very good. Good to great acceleration, good to great agility. Change of direction's only solid to good, and then jumping's good to great. Speed is great to elite, which could change things. If he runs, in the 4.3s, that might elevate him. Strength is marginal to decent, and then we saw some of the main skills, but A block shed. A awareness, C block shed. He is B for pretty much everything, though. Hit power, man coverage, play rec, pursuit, tackle, zone coverage. Very well-rounded safety. You trust him in man or zone, and he's a really good athlete. On the other hand, the case for Glenn Gore. We have him 100% scouted. We know he is a top 5 talent in this class, and that doesn't mean necessarily he is, number 2 or 3 or 4. He could be number 5 at 75 overall, and there could be 15 players who are 75 overall and technically a top 5 talent. But Glenn Gore does look pretty good. He is 6'2", 201 pounds, 22 years old, so a year younger than Bryson Hendricks from Florida State. He has B hit power, which is the same, C man coverage, which is worse by a letter grade, B tackle, which is the same, and then A zone coverage, which is better by a letter grade. Player notes: physical player who delivers bone-crushing hits, struggles to find the ball in the air, which is a little bit concerning, has a motor that runs through the whistle, often looks to rip the ball from runners, and shows good discipline and won't get flagged much. Physically, he's quite good. Good to great acceleration. Great to elite agility. Agility is pretty important, but change of direction's only solid to good. Jumping's only decent to solid. And then speed and strength, both good to great, which you like. Other skills, he has A awareness as well. He has A catching. So I don't know how he's not a ball hawk. B play rec, B pursuit. Stamina's only a C, tackle's a B, but stamina injury probably won't play a big impact. B finesse moves, but doesn't really matter for safety. So overall, he's good, but we are probably going to have to trade up if we want to get either of those players. Hendricks is projected to go at number 5 overall, or somewhere in that range. We'll know more when the mock draft comes out. And then Glenn Gore is projected to go at number 19. So that's worth thinking about. Quarterback, we're not really considering it, but we do have Nick Gordon, Alexander Auble, and Pat Northcutt all expected to go in the top 5. Whether they do or not, that's, we'll see. I'm not even going to say up for debate. We'll see about it. Deep accuracy is an A. Medium accuracy is a B for Auble. He's got good to great throw power. Kind of reminds me of Cody Bailey in a way, but speed's only poor to marginal. So I don't think any of these guys are really good enough for us to consider. Nick Gordon has A. Deep accuracy, A. Throw under pressure, which is great. Short accuracy is not so good. Medium accuracy is not so good. He, again, kind of reminds me of Cody Bailey. Good to great throw power. League average release time throwing isn't great, so we'd probably avoid him as well. Pat Northcutt, another strong arm guy. Accuracy's not all the way there. We don't really know about deep accuracy, but fast, nearly perfect compact motion is not something I've seen. Great to elite throw power. Not the best athlete in the world. Otherwise, A. Trucking. Yeah, probably not. We could use some depth at running back. I have some guys that I've looked at. Glenn Spellman is probably the number 1 on my board because we would take him near the end of the draft. B. Ball carrier vision, A. break tackle, B. carrying. He's not the best athlete in the world, but he's very, very strong. A. stiff arm, A. break tackle, B. trucking. For what we would use him for, which is a goal line back probably, not the worst. And then a couple of decent, kind of smaller running backs at the top of the board here. Great to elite for jumping is whatever. Great to elite acceleration, pretty good. But he's not that fast, which I guess you don't need to be, but his change of direction is not anything amazing either. So for a 5'8", 196-pound running back, you'd really be hoping for some top-tier speed. Same thing with Tavares Davenport, and you just don't really get that. You do get great to elite change of direction, but juke move's only a C. Probably not going to consider him. The receiver class is a little underwhelming here. Mike Grimes from Virginia, A. catching, B. deep route running. Not the best athlete ever, but A. spectacular catch, A. medium route running, A. catching. There are definitely things to like. Now, are we really in the market for a receiver? At some point, we're going to have to upgrade on Odell. I don't think that's going to be this year. William Oglesby can fly a little bit. Great to elite acceleration, great to elite change of direction, solid to good speed. Maybe not really a flyer so much as he is just explosive. I think maybe is a better word for it. A. spectacular catch, B. medium route running, catching's a C, which is fine, I think. C. release, D. catch in traffic. Again, not amazing, but he is the playmaker type. You expect him to be maybe a little bit more like Kadarius Toney. Sean Goodrich and Dom Henley got a little bit of postseason hype leading into the draft. They have some stories about them, but they weren't really all that impressive to me. At tight end, the only player I liked was Jaden Myrick from UCLA, just because he's a really good run blocker with good to great speed. However, you guys know, we have pretty good depth at tight end. We have 3 guys that I like. Obviously, you guys know about Nick Duval, probably Jaden Rhodes, but Daniel Bellinger, who's played well in real life before what looks to be a season-ending injury, is going to take him out. The offensive line doesn't look amazing. I have Zion Jones scouted, pass protector with B to D run block. If that were a B, okay, you might have something. Not the strongest guy ever, but a pass protecting type. The center, Eric Brown, on day 2, I think could be somebody that we look at. A, impact blocking, A, run blocking. His pass blocking is probably going to be pretty bad. He's not even that strong either, but I really do like the look of A, impact blocking, and A, run blocking. Somebody we might want to take another look at. Wasn't really too impressed with the right guards in general, but there are a lot of right tackles projected to go very high, which is a little unusual. Braxton Bishop looks decent. The thing is with every tackle that we see in the draft is there's never really the complete guy. It's the guy that can pass block well, or it's the guy that can run block well. And then there are the guys who really can't do either that are still projected to go high for some reason. Braxton Bishop looks like the guy who can run block pretty well. The pass protector types, okay, A, pass block looks awesome, A, awareness, but run blocking is so bad that you might not even look to take them. And usually the pass protecting types are not very strong. which is kind of a red flag for me because strength is a super important stat for blockers because it affects the amount of time that they can hold those blocks. So don't really know how I feel about that. We are somewhat in the market for upgrades on the defensive line, especially on the interior. The problem is I don't really see too many. Maybe Mike Palmer, A block shed, A tackle, B power moves is somebody to look at. 6'4", 311, only 21 years old. There is value here down the board. He is not an athlete. He's not even that strong at solid to good strength, but I do like his attributes a lot. B awareness, B play rec, A block shed, B power moves, B hit power, A tackle. Those are things, A to B pursuit. Those are things that I think would make a really good interior defensive lineman. Not calling him a nose tackle, but in a 3-4, I could see him being a pretty good fit at defensive end. Not really a pass rusher, but B power moves, especially at left end, is not bad. At right end, it looks like Adrian Lake's going to be pretty good value. 6'6", 280. Again, a good fit for a 3-4 defense, and I'll show you the team in a second. He's a round 1 to 2 projection with a true talent of round 1. So that's pretty good. He is 23 years old already, but C block sheds, whatever, that's fine. A power moves, A tackle. Physical player who delivers bone-crushing hits. Loves to utilize a spin as a counter move, so he's got the spin move. Has a swift arm over move in his arsenal. That's a swim move. Will utilize power and leverage to bull through pass protectors. That's a bull rush trait. Has a motor that runs through the whistle. High motor. Strip ball trait. And good discipline. Not going to get flagged too much. Physically, he's fine. Good to great acceleration is maybe the thing that stands out to me. Good to great change of direction. His strength and speed are whatever, maybe average to slightly below average in some cases. But A power moves, A tackle, B play rec, B awareness. He's not bad. If we're picking at number 35 or 40 and Adrian Lake is on the board, it's somebody that I'm going to at least consider. A lot of these other guys, probably not. I mean, you can see day 3 talents. We're looking to do a little bit better than that. Maybe Dennis Billups down the board out of Georgia Tech. 6'4", 275, B power moves. And kind of a whatever athlete, but somebody to take a look at as far as undrafted free agent rookies go. Round 3 to 4 talent is pretty good. And when we're talking about pass rushing 3-4 defensive ends, you can find a lot of those guys at the defensive tackle position. Trayvon Brown out of Oklahoma State. B block shed, B finesse moves, B power moves, A tackle. 21 years old, 6'4", 316. Bone crushing hit, so he's got big hitter, spin move, swim move, bull rush, high motor, strip ball, lacks discipline. Great to elite strength. Good to great speed. And then we saw some of his skills already. He's going to be a good player. Someone that I expect to be a true round 1 talent. Alex Herrera in a similar spot, 6'5", 318, 22 years old. B block shed, B finesse moves, B power moves, A tackle. Very similar player notes as well. Great to elite acceleration. Decent to solid speed. Good to great strength. A lot of things to like with Alex Herrera, and you can kind of work down the board with that too. B finesse moves for Robert Burse. John Contreras from Louisville, only 6'2", 298, but does have A finesse moves. Good to great speed, great to elite acceleration, could be a steal. Jorvonte Matthews is also somebody that I like down the board. A to B finesse moves, B tackle, block shedding should be a C. Great to elite acceleration, great to elite speed. A hit power, B awareness, B play rec, B tackle. Like there's something here. And 6'5", 287, pretty good fit for my 3-4 defense. With the linebackers, I've talked a lot about Caleb Claiborne. This is probably one of my guys here in the first round. Might have to make a move up for him. 6', 233, run stopper archetype with B block shed, A pursuit, A tackle, and A zone coverage. Big hitter trait. Struggles to find the ball in the air, but high motor, strip ball, lacks discipline. He's got spin move, he's got swim move, he's got bull rush. Physically, good to great acceleration, good to great jumping, great to elite speed. Skill-wise, A pursuit is nice too. B block shed, we talked about. A tackle, A zone coverage. A to C awareness, A to C man coverage, A to C play rec. I think Caleb Claiborne is going to be somebody that we really try and take. And there are players down the board that could be good fits. 6'1", 235. A lot of A to C there. Great to elite jumping. A lot of good to great on that page. could be good down the board. Linebacker's not the biggest need for us, but I'll show you in a minute. Middle linebacker's a little bit weaker than I would like. Isaiah Mooney from Arizona State is someone that looks good down the board. B block shed, B tackle, B zone coverage. Great to elite speed. I'm always looking for that. It's a game changer. And then at right outside linebacker, there are some pass rushers. A pursuit here for James Parks from Ohio State. Not the best athlete. Maybe has A power moves. Tough to tell. Really, I'm interested in John Boss from Bama. Round 3 to 4 projection. A pursuit, A tackle, A zone coverage. He is a pass coverage type. B to D block shed. But this is just good value down the board. A player I'm probably not going to pass on. Big hitter trait. Struggles to find the ball in the air for a pass coverage type. I don't love that. High motor, strip ball, good discipline, spin move, swim move, bull rush. Physically, great to elite acceleration, great to elite agility, good to great change of direction, jumping, great to elite speed. Skill-wise, we know he's good. A pursuit, A tackle, A zone coverage. And he's not the same player that Edmonds is on my team. Akil Edmonds, who I've moved back to safety. I'll show you in a minute. He's 6'2". So a lot bigger than 5'11", and really offers us someone that could be a more traditional linebacker, I think, up the middle. At corner, there are some good ones. It's a position of need for us. And, you know, I'm looking at these two Iowa guys, really. You look at Robert Forsett, 6 foot 190, struggles to find the ball in the air I don't love. But B-man coverage, B press. Zone coverage is C, which is not too bad, with great to elite acceleration and good to great speed. That isn't bad. That isn't bad. B-man coverage, B press, kind of what stands out to me. And his teammate is 6'2", 207, a little bit bigger. Still, B-man coverage. Press is B to D. Don't know what that's going to be. Only 21 years old, but 6'2" is interesting. And he's a savvy defender with the ball in the air. High motor, strip ball, A catching. It seems like a ball hawk. Problem is, a little bit slow. Solid to good speed, but does have great to elite acceleration. Still could be about 90 speed. We saw last year with the Commanders corner, Daniel Brinkley from Buffalo. A catching, B-man. It depends, because a lot of these things are B to D, where if they're B, he's going to be great. If they're C, you know, whatever, but D would be very bad. We looked at safety. Strong safety I wasn't really too impressed with. Nobody here really moving the needle for me. And then Luke Tyson, someone down the board a little bit that is intriguing if we were to miss out. Still wanted to address safety. Big hitter trait, savvy defender, high motor, strip ball, good discipline, B hit power, C man, C tackle, B zone, good to great speed. He's a good to great athlete overall in general. B play rec, B awareness. Kind of someone that we really haven't shown too much love to. That really is not a bad player. 6'1", 22 years old. He's up in that conversation for one of the best safeties in the class, certainly, and that's why he's a round 1 to 2 projected guy, I guess, but quite good. Kicker, we have Wyatt Anthony. We don't need a kicker, but I did look at kicker. Didn't really find anyone. And then at punter, I have one guy on my board. It's Sean Katz from Texas A&M, 5'10", 197. Does have great to elite kick power, which is kind of the only thing I was looking for. And kick accuracy is a C. As a potential undrafted free agent, maybe someone that we would look at. My offense looks like this. You guys may or may not know about the dev trait upgrades if you stayed till the end of the last episode. But defensively, things have changed. I moved to a 3-4. Kayvon Thibodeau listed at left end. Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence will be back if we re-sign him. It's going to be a big offseason decision later today. But Leonard Williams, and then we have Tay Crowder, another offseason decision. Dontrell Cobb, Derek Cooper at outside backer, Azeez Ojulari, and then Julian Love, another offseason decision, and then Akil Edmonds has been moved back to strong safety. I just don't know if he's fast enough. Really is kind of my big concern with him. Zone coverage maybe not quite high enough. He's just a bit of a tweener, and those guys exist. Superstar dev's cool, but he's got to develop a little bit more. He's just not good enough right now. The news stories: Brian Reynolds, the Yale tight end, several spectacular catches and got some hardware. All-Star Game MVP, Senior Bowl probably. No combine for Palmer, skipping it after an injury. Left end Mike Palmer. Injury concerns for Georgia left tackle Tim Gresham. Long history of injuries. College football's best quarterback is Joe Trent from San Jose State. And then we can see Robert Forsett, the Iowa corner. Shutdown play, stellar season, rewarded with honor of being named the nation's best corner. So we can say that's the best DB. Thorpe Award, probably. So Robert Forsett, maybe one to watch. Grimes, Mike Grimes from Virginia, nation's top receiver. William and Mary receiver Sean Goodrich was the best FCS player of 2023. And then Heisman update, the receiver, Dom Henley. Not the Eagles' Don Henley, but Dom Henley, voted as the Heisman Trophy winner. But as we saw last year with Cecil McFadden, the receiver drafted, I believe, by the Panthers, he only had star dev. So Heisman Trophy does not guarantee superstar X Factor. It does not guarantee superstar. It guarantees nothing. Maybe it guarantees hidden dev, but not someone we're going to take just because he won the Heisman. Got to be aware of that. But that's it for the preview. As I end this video, it's 3:58 p.m. for me. That means the off-season stream is an hour and a half away by the time you guys see it. It's either going to be starting or about 30 minutes away maybe. So be on the lookout. Stay tuned. Can't wait. Video up tomorrow, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.